Hey everybody, it's Deb Kelt from Heart of Texas Writing Project, and I'm here with my family on the couch because I wanted to share with you another way that you can get started in your notebook, a suggestion for you to get started in your notebook that's super easy, and also one of my favorite things to do is to remember that we all have stories that live inside of us. We all walk around with stories inside of us. And if we spend some time telling stories or sharing stories, that's a great way to generate thinking to go back to your notebook. And since I'm imagining you're with other people in your house that you care about, this might be a really sweet thing to do with the people in your life. And I'm going to show you my family talking about the stories that we have inside of us. It could get very silly very quickly. But I've told them that we're going to be on our best behavior for today and see if we can make this work. So here's what happens. When you start telling a story, right, other people who are listening, they get a story lined up in their head, kind of like dominoes lining up. You get one behind the other, behind the other, behind the other, and you start thinking, oh, I want to take my turn. I want to tell a story. I want to tell a story. And those stories are great things to capture in your notebook. They're often the best thing that you can capture in your notebook. And you can talk about anything you want. You can talk about anything at all. It doesn't really matter. In fact, the most simple stories, silly stories, are often the best. Okay? So I'm going to start, Isaac. And you guys ready? Charles, you ready?
Yes, I'm
ready.
ready.
Come sit down. Come sit closer.
I died.
Okay, here's my family. This is Isaac and this is Charles. We're sitting on the couch. And I'm going to start, okay? Are y'all ready? So you just need to listen. Okay. So what I sometimes think about are the stories of when I was a little girl growing up in Houston. And the summertime especially is something that I have some just simple stories about. We used to get up really late and we would stay in our pajamas like all day long sometimes. And we would sit and we would watch TV and eat cereal like Cocoa Puffs or Life cereal was really popular. We loved Life cereal, and we'd sit there in front of the TV and eat our cereal. I remember the sugar would kind of get stuck at the, bottom of the bowl or float on top of the milk. And we used to watch stuff like Gilligan's Island. We loved Gilligan's Island. We used to watch Brady Bunch a lot, and we used to watch game shows.
Mommy, they're not going to know what that is. They just watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh, okay. Well, when I was a kid, these were the shows that we watched. So, and then we would sometimes ride our bikes and go to the pool. And I remember we used to swim all the time, every day, so much so that my hair started to turn green from the chlorine in the pool. And our bathing suits used to get almost worn out in the bottoms because we were sitting on the concrete, and the chlorine used to wear out the bottoms where there'd be these little tiny nubby patches of just sort of like sheer bathing suit material.
Oh, that reminds me of the time when we were
it's working. Are you want to go next? Okay, you go.
That reminded me of the time that we were in the ditch and you fell down on your butt.
We were walking in the neighborhood.
And then she farted.
Oh. Okay, it reminds you of that story. That's a good one. Daddy, what does it remind you of? Tell a story, a story that you want. Any story? Any story at all?
It reminds me of my childhood, where we would dig into the ground and make little foxholes, and it'd be like hotter than the surface of the sun. And
where was this?
This would be out at our property in Waxahachie, Texas. It was 1.5 acres of land, and it butted up to I-35, so we would stay in our foxholes, wave to the soldiers that were going to Fort Hood, and we tried to sleep out there one time, all three of us. We pulled a plastic tarp over the hole, but we became scared. And John, my middle brother, left first and ran back to the house, and then Theo ran back to the house. He's my youngest brother. And I tried to stay in the hole, but the wind was kind of whipping the tarp around, and I got scared. And
all right, so I'm going to take it back over here. So as you can see, this is a great thing that you can do with your friends, with your family, who on the phone. You can just tell some stories about just anything that you remember. And usually one story leads to another story, leads to another story. And these are great things for you to write in your notebook. Okay, writers, have a great storytelling session and then write those down. See you soon. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Hey,